Welcome to Reading Comprehension Booster. This app allows each child to have their own bookshelf. This is John's bookshelf, and he's going to add a book to his shelf. He can type in the title and author, or he can take a photo of the book cover and decide to use it. John is reading The Boxcar Children, so he's added that to his bookshelf. Once he's done that, he taps on it, and it opens and offers him 7 different bookmark options. John has chosen characters and can choose between people and animals. He can type in the name of the character, and then for each of the bookmarks he has the option to illustrate, to type and add text, or to do voice recordings. John has chosen to illustrate Jessie, and now he's adding some character trait badges down at the bottom to describe what he knows so far about this character from reading in the text. As a final step, John chooses to add an audio recording. By having audio recordings on each bookmark, it makes the app accessible to students who may not yet be typing or writing or comfortable with drawing. In the settings bookmark, John can add where and when and whether. I particularly like the feature for where he can zero in on the map and show where the story is taking place. The third bookmark that John might use is story sequence. He can drag the car to drive to the first stoplight, but then must stop and write something that happened in the story before the light will turn green to let him move forward. Again, John can type, he can write or draw with his finger or a stylus, and John can also add audio components to each page and then move his car forward. The next bookmark that John chooses to use will be to capture his knowledge about the big ideas of the story. Using a Greek temple as the graphic organizer behind this, the students learn that they have to write in supporting details on the columns. For each column that they add, the picture becomes more vibrant. This teaches the students to really pay attention to lots of detail in the story. Again, every time we add a detail, the picture becomes richer and more vibrant. After adding several details on columns, then the child can add the main idea. The main idea goes on the roof and should be broad enough to include or capture all of the supporting details below it. In this way, they're making sure that they're thinking big ideas for the roof and not little tiny details that may not be as important. Now we're going to look at the predictions bookmark. This bookmark allows John to make a prediction based on what he has read. He can draw the prediction in with his finger, he can record it, or type it. At the bottom of the predictions bookmark, it says, "Come back later to check if your prediction was correct." John will not be able to check this now. He'll close out of the bookmark and be able to come back to it later and then check whether his prediction was correct. This makes sure that he reads before answering that question. In the connections bookmark, John is encouraged to make connections between what he's reading and himself, other texts, the world, other media, and so forth. These connections are illustrated by the use of puzzle pieces. John can type, he can record, or he can draw his connections, whatever his choice or preference is. The final bookmark makes a read-write connection. Story Seeds encourages students to think about story ideas as they're reading. Once they get an idea, they tap and type in their idea. John decides that he could write a story about a homeless dog after reading about the homeless children in Boxcar Children. Then he chooses one of the 5 senses and adds some descriptive detail about what he might see in this story. That is saved on one of the leaves. As he continues to add leaves, the plant grows or the story grows, and the next time he has a writing opportunity, he can come back and check his story ideas. At any point, the teacher or parent can ask John to email his bookmarks to them so that they can review his progress. And now they have some data to reflect on and to talk with him about at the next opportunity. For more information, go to ideasforeducators.com.